Right, before we get into the nitty gritty of the actual video, for those that follow along consecutively with the videos, you'll have seen recently I was building a HPA, or finishing building a HPA Silverback MDRX. It's now finished, ready for a game tomorrow night, which hopefully we get some good footage with. This is how I've set it up and how I'm going to be running it on the night. But yeah, ready to go. But this is not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about compensated barrels, and that's a very vague title, but I bought a bunch of compensated barrels. I had a little package from WGC. I bought a bunch of bits. Some of the bits I'd forgot I'd even ordered. However, a bit of foreshadowing here because we've got some PDP parts. Compensated barrels. So we've got one for the PDP as well. And then the other two I picked up just because they're in stock. These are the brand Gunday. And I've got one for the 17 Gen 5 and I've got one for the 17 Gen 4. I have to be very careful how I place these. So we have a 17 Gen 4 and we have my 17 Gen 5. I've also got my other Gen 5, which I was kind of contemplating, would it fit that? But I don't think it will because we've changed the slide. Obviously, this is a very Gucci slide kit. Now it works and it's got a little red dot on there. It actually feels really, really good. But what are we talking about with compensated barrels? Well, let's do the Gen 5 first. They basically sell outer barrels, and some of the colours were a bit odd just because I couldn't get black. This one I couldn't get black, but then I thought, you know what, I'll buy it in the sort of the FD-ish colour, hoping that it would kind of match the Surefire, which it does. So that can go on there. They all come with a Torx Allen key, Torx key, whatever you want to call it. One for the 17 Gen 4. Very nice indeed. And then this one, finally, was for the PDP. Now, the PDP hasn't turned up yet, but I'll quickly show you. We'll be Gucciing up the PDP as well, but again, this one for the PDP, the only colour I could get it in this style was either grey, or I think maybe red. And I didn't want a red one, so I went with grey. And I'm probably going to be Cerakoting the PDP anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But let's spool this off. Very easy. Take apart the spring guide, pull the original outer barrel out, and you'll see it fits in like this. It's just like a little, just notches in there. And it's basically what we can do is we can pull that out. Now these do have stickers on, because I think these are like Rainier style barrel sets. I've heard mixed things about the brand Gunday, but we're going to find out together. Alright, is it a T20? So you can spin this screw out here, because you'll have to remove that to get it on the pistol itself. And then we basically just take our hop unit and make sure the inner barrel's lined up. And I presume we just push it in past this part like that. It's a little bit grindy, but we'll have to persevere. So that would go in there like so. Looks like it fits in there okay. Take our spring guide. This is just a standard one, of course. Pop that in there. And then what we can do is we can take the compensator, fit it to the front of the barrel. And this does nothing for performance. It does absolutely zero. This is not a functional part at all. This is literally a part just for looks. So I've tightened that all the way down on the barrel, but it's still really loose. I can't actually tighten that anymore. So if loose fit bothers you, that might have to be shimmed out with something. And there we go. We've got a compensator, which kind of matches our Surefire. Just makes the pistol look a bit different. That's the Gen 5. Gen 4, I presume, is going to be very much the same. Now, this is a cow. I need to find what I've done with my original one. It's here somewhere. This is the cow spring guide, and I really do not recommend this part because it jumps off this notch here. And every now and again, when you charge the slide or you're shooting the pistol, it will pop out like that. And it gets stuck and it has to pop back in. So this part is not very good at all. And it wasn't cheap. This one, again, we can just pull this out. Now with the Gen 4, it's a little bit different, but this is extremely easy. So what we're going to do, just going to get a little flathead. And because this is plastic, what we can do is we can just lever that out slightly. I did do this before when I was testing. There we go. And we can pop the outer barrel off, plastic barrel. We take our new one. We loosen off the compensator, or fake compensator. This is not a real, it doesn't do anything. It's just for looks, just for cosplay, shall we say. Scratch off the remainder of the white label. Got one there, and got one here, which is kind of annoying. I'm guessing this is in case they send it to the US. The one on there is hardly noticeable. But we take that, we take, it basically changes the fitment to like a locked in fitment to one that's like the Gen 5. So we just line this up here, make sure the barrel's lined up, and we just give it a push. Again, a little bit more restrictive. Seems to be restrictive at the end here where the barrel comes through. Put that into the slide. Take our crappy recoil spring. Upgraded, not upgraded, make it worse. I had good luck with KK parts, to be honest. Pop that back together. If it wants to go together. Oh, weird. Bit sticky, this one. Every now and again it just locks. But I'm not sure if it's the barrel that's doing that. Have I got a Glock mag? Got a non-Glock mag. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, it does work. I don't know why it's sticking. The first time I fitted this, it wasn't sticking at all. So let's have a quick gander. I wonder if it's got something to do with the fact that this is really crunchy. Give that a few actuations there to try and free that up. Because I did get impatient and my Gen 4 was downstairs when the stuff turned up. See, this is this spring guide again. It could be the spring guide. Honestly, it's the worst spring guide. How you can get this part wrong, I don't know. I had to quickly just jams up for some reason. And it wasn't doing that before. I'll have to look at that. But it's a definite lock. It's not like it's catching. It functions and then it just locks. I think it's if you drop the slide forward like that, it sticks. However, if you do it slowly, I don't know. Anyway, put the comp on the front there, or the fake comp, the non-comp, the flashy accessory. Tighten this up. That one's actually okay. I put the comp on and it's fixed itself. This isn't a TM Glock mag, it's just what I've got handy here. This is just like a PTS Zev. Functions nicely. You have to forgive me, I have to do these in a way where I'm not really showing too much off. So Gen 4 and Gen 5s, very funky with their new Gunday compensated barrels. You do get T20 Allen wrenches, T20 wrenches, I don't know what to call them. I just use one off the rack here. Now I completely forgot that I'd ordered this, but this was a bomber, and this is a trigger for the Gen 5. It's actually got Taran markings on it. The reason why I'm not going to mess with this just yet is because I'm not entirely sure whether I want to fit the trigger to that one or whether I want to fit the trigger to this one. They're both identical pistols, apart from this one's got the Toxicant slide kit on there, so maybe we fancy this one up and leave that one fairly standard. But this, now he's figured out all the issues with this is actually kind of smooth. But we could have a Taran trigger in there. These triggers are much better because what you can basically do is you have like a little grub screw in the back and you can adjust the break point, which just makes it a much more satisfying and faster experience on the trigger. So got those bits. There's some parts there for it, so that I'll have to get round to when I decide which pistol I want to stick it on. And PDP stuff, I bought the barrel, I bought a magwell for it. Not had great experiences with this top shooter stuff, but I've also got a Crusader trigger, which I think is VFC. The only downside to this trigger, it was the only one available, is the reason I bought it was to have an adjustable trigger on it, but it's got no adjustment. So I'm not sure, and it is very, very loose. But maybe it'll just look nice and it'll feel better, but there we go. So I've got the PDP in the post. It's currently sat in customs, waiting to come through. I've also purchased another pistol which has done me, every time I've bought one it's always been a bag of rubbish, but I'm hoping that I've not been conned when it says like they're the newer versions of it, or version 2, so I'll get to that when they arrive. Sorry if I've messed about a bit in this video and I'm just like monging in front of it. Now the Gen 5 one, I mean the Gen 5 has a super nice slide anyway compared to the older Gen 4s. These are very notchy. The newer Gen 5s is just so smooth. And I don't know if it's just a placebo, but it seems like it's smoother now, or it has a better sound to it with this barrel. So let's whack a PTS mag in and see if it just seems more punchier as well. So I'll be running, I think, this and the new P320 tomorrow as sidearms. I just think it adds a bit more colour to it, doesn't it? It adds a bit more contrast. Just a shame that this thing is extremely loose. Now, I could drill a little hole in the bottom there and put a grub screw in just to tension it, but why is one nice and tight and this is probably the QC I've been reading about Gunday, but you wouldn't really notice it all that much, but because I know it's there, it's going to annoy the living crap out of me. Now I could just shim it with something. Could just shim it with something where I'm trying to think now what I could do. Maybe just 3D print like a little thin piece of plastic, because that attaches there and it can't, there's nowhere for this to like pull in and pinch. So it's all to do with this section at the top here. So I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I'll use it and it really doesn't bother me, but it's just when you're manually handling it, it does fit nice around the slide. It could be better. It could be better. Like there is a definite gap. Maybe they do that just to make sure it's not going to hit the slide at all. But no matter how much I torque that down, has it? I think that might have worked a little bit. Just torquing it down. A little bit loose, but it's a bit better. So just crank it, but just be careful you don't rip all your threads out. So weird video, I know. Thanks for tuning in as always. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if it's been in any way entertaining for you. These things are bloody multiplying now. Hopefully the Gen 519 is good when it comes out, I believe, in the new year. So thanks as always for watching. Join the Aprons in Discord. The link will be in the description below. And as always, from me and Bench, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.